You have a life as a priest, obviously very busy, very demanding. I know that you coach track, cross country, and not just like a little bit here for an hour or something. That it's a serious commitment, and a significant part of your life and ministry. Tell us a little bit about that.
So God never wants to bury a gift. He always wants to magnify it and exalt it and use it for his kingdom. When I went to college, directly out of high school, the only thing I wanted to be was a cross country coach. And so I went into education because in the 90s, my only experience with all of my coaches was that they were teachers in schools. That's changed very much in today's culture. So I went to college to become a high school teacher so that I could coach. When God called me to be a priest, I had to be like, oh God, I'll sacrifice this to you. If I'm going to become a priest, there's no way that I could ever coach. But I'll sacrifice this desire. I'll sacrifice this dream. But once ordained, I realized that God wants to take those desires and those dreams and he wants to bless them. And he wants to use them for his kingdom and for his glory. And I would have coached if I had taken my other path. I would have been a coach, and I would have probably been a decent coach, I guess, of some sorts, but it would have been more about me. And once ordained, I quickly realized that schools are looking for anybody who's willing to be a positive influence in the life of young people. And I was very blessed. One of my first parish assignments that a whole bunch of my high school altar servers just happened to be on the cross country team. And I was trying to recruit these high school boys to get them into the sanctuary. And I quickly realized that if you build a relationship with them by spending time on their side, that they're going to come to your side. And so I got to know their parents. I got to know them. And after that first year, they asked if I'd be willing to help them with the summer training program. That then led to me building a relationship with a coach. That then ultimately led to shaking a lot of hands and smiling, ultimately meeting the athletic director who, when the current coach had to leave on maternity leave, he reached out to me and said, would you be willing to be the head coach of our cross country program? And I said, yes. And so I'm in my 12th year of coaching now at public high schools. I'm at my second public high school, and it's a beautiful commitment every day from 3 o'clock until 5:30 to be in the lives of young people, to see them on their turf and their terms, but to call them to something more, which is often very subtle. I'm not in that school to walk around and boldly say, Jesus is Lord, but my actions and my words and the way that I treat them and the way that I coach them preaches the gospel. And so from that, it's been powerful. But we've had families that have come back to the faith. We've had baptisms. We've had people that, but more importantly, not that is really important, but the ability to encourage young people and build them up, knowing that God willing, one day that's going to be a husband, a wife, a father, a mother, and that those relationships change lives. Yeah, I love coaching.
So spending all this time with young people, what would you say is the greatest need of young people, or one of the greatest needs of young people today?
They need a mother and a father. And they need someone to pay attention to them. Sorry. They need someone to pay attention to them that's a real living human being. And if that can be a mom and a dad, that's the best. They long for human interaction. And it's what they need. It's what they're screaming for behind every desire that they have on every social Instagram or Facebook or whatever, Snapchat. They are longing to be affirmed and to be noticed and to be loved. And It's a great need.
When that is not fulfilled or filled in a healthy way, what is the fallout you see? And how has that changed, say, over the last decade or 2 decades?
Yeah, so the fallout can be as terrible as suicide, as cutting, which is prevalent in our schools, uh, the numbing effects of alcohol, of drugs, of food, uh, but also just the darkness that they go deeper and deeper and deeper into a technology, hoping that that technology is going to somehow eventually reach out and touch them. And so, whether it be gaming or whether it be social media, but you just see an ever growing desire to remove myself from reality for a sake of somehow, yeah, being affirmed, loved, or finding pleasure.